What if the greatest stories of human discovery aren't found on land, but deep beneath the waves? For centuries, intrepid souls braved the unknown, their incredible voyages shaping our understanding of the world. Yet, so many of these epic tales and the heroes who lived them have been swallowed by the vastness of time. Prepare to uncover the lost history that lies hidden in the depths. Forget everything you think you know about exploration. The true frontiers weren't the mountains or the jungles, but the terrifying, boundless ocean. We're about to expose the forgotten expeditions, the shocking sacrifices, and the revolutionary breakthroughs made by daring mariners who literally mapped our world. Their legacy runs deeper than any trench, and it's time to bring it to light. Imagine a time when entire oceans were blank canvases, mysteries waiting to be solved. Will you have the courage to venture into the abyss, charting the uncharted with only the stars and your wit to guide you? Join us as we embark on an extraordinary journey back through time, unearthing the untold sagas of maritime discovery and celebrating the forgotten heroes who pushed the boundaries of human possibility. Our journey begins in the vanished age of ancient mariners, long before the famous names of Columbus or Magellan echoed in history books. We often think of 1492 as the year the world expanded, but what if I told you that transoceanic voyages happened centuries, even millennia, earlier? Compelling evidence, from botanical clues to archaeological finds, suggests that cultures separated by vast oceans were in contact. We're talking about forgotten navigators from Africa, Asia, and Europe whose sagas were lost to time, their ships little more than whispers on the wind. The most incredible of these ancient seafarers were the Polynesian wayfinders. In a time without compasses or maps, these masters of the sea navigated thousands of miles of open Pacific Ocean. They sailed in magnificent deep-sea canoes, guided by an intricate knowledge of the stars, the ocean swells, the flight patterns of birds, and the subtle changes in cloud formations. They didn't just stumble upon islands. They systematically explored and settled a territory larger than any empire on land, from Hawaii to New Zealand to Easter Island. Their technology and celestial navigation techniques were so advanced they seem almost magical, a testament to a profound connection with the ocean that we've largely forgotten. And of course, we can't forget the Norse sagas. Centuries before Columbus, Viking longships crossed the treacherous North Atlantic. Led by figures like Leif Erikson, they established a settlement in a place they called Vinland, what we now know as North America. For a long time, these stories were dismissed as mere myths. But then, in the 1960s, archaeologists unearthed a Norse settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. The sagas were real. These Viking expeditions weren't just raids. They were daring journeys of exploration, a bold chapter in maritime history that proves the age of discovery began much, much earlier. As we sail forward in time, we enter the Age of Sail, a period of legendary explorers. But behind the famous captains were secret seekers, the unsung heroes who truly mapped our world. Think of the forgotten cartographers. These were artists and scientists who risked everything on perilous missions. They faced storms, hostile encounters, and disease, all to meticulously chart unknown coastlines. Their maps were not just lines on paper. They were lifelines for sailors and the foundational documents that connected the continents. Every bay, every reef, every island they drew was a victory against the vast unknown. This era also saw the rise of scientific pioneers at sea. Long before Jacques Cousteau, early naturalists and scientists turned their ships into floating laboratories. Men like Joseph Banks, aboard Captain Cook's Endeavour, collected thousands of plant and animal specimens, revolutionizing our understanding of biodiversity. They weren't just adventurers. They were scholars who laid the groundwork for entire fields like botany, zoology, and marine biology, all from the deck of a wooden ship tossed on a global sea. But discovery often came at a terrible cost. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the lost Arctic expeditions. For centuries, explorers were obsessed with finding the mythical Northwest Passage, a sea route through the Arctic that would connect the Atlantic and Pacific. Countless ships and their crews sailed into the ice-choked labyrinth, many never to return. The tragic story of Sir John Franklin's expedition, where 2 ships and all 129 men vanished, is a haunting reminder of the sacrifices made. Retracing their heroic and often fatal attempts reveals the raw courage and brutal reality of pushing the boundaries of the known world. As technology advanced, so did our ambition to explore not just the surface, but the crushing depths. This brings us to the forgotten frontiermen of the deep sea. In the 1930s, the world watched in awe as William Beebe and Otis Barton made history. They squeezed into a tiny steel sphere called the bathysphere and plunged into the abyss off the coast of Bermuda. Dangling from a steel cable, they descended to depths no human had ever reached, describing a world of bizarre, bioluminescent creatures through a tiny quartz window. Their bravery opened the door to deep-sea exploration, proving that humans could visit this alien world and survive. But perhaps the most significant voyage in the history of ocean science was the Challenger expedition of the 1870s. This wasn't a quest for land or gold. It was a 4-year mission dedicated purely to science. The HMS Challenger circumnavigated the globe, systematically measuring depths, temperatures, and currents. The crew dredged the seafloor, discovering over 4,700 new species of marine life and proving that life existed even in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean. This single voyage laid the foundation for modern oceanography, and its data is still being used by scientists today. Then came the Cold War, an unlikely catalyst for oceanic discovery. As submarines from the U.S. and the Soviet Union prowled the depths, a new, urgent need arose to map the ocean floor with unprecedented detail. This military-driven research had a surprising side effect. It led to the discovery of massive underwater mountain ranges, deep-sea trenches, and hydrothermal vents teeming with life that thrives without sunlight. In their quest for strategic advantage, the world's superpowers inadvertently revealed a hidden geological and biological landscape that revolutionized our understanding of the planet itself. The ocean still holds so many mysteries beneath the waves. Modern underwater archaeology, using sonar and robotics, is unearthing sunken cities and shipwrecks that rewrite history. From the potential ruins of lost civilizations to the ghostly remains of famous wrecks like the Titanic or the Endurance, each discovery tells a story of human triumph, tragedy, and ambition. These submerged time capsules offer a direct link to the sailors and societies of the past. And what about the creatures of the deep? For centuries, sailors told tales of krakens and sea serpents. While we haven't found a kraken, modern science continues to discover new, genuinely bizarre species that seem to come straight from mythology. A goblin shark, the vampire squid, the giant phantom jelly, these are real animals that prove the ocean's capacity for surprise is limitless. The age of biological discovery is far from over. It's just moved to the deep. Of course, some mysteries endure. Phenomena like the Bermuda Triangle continue to capture our imagination. While many incidents have logical explanations, the persistence of these stories speaks to our primal fear and fascination with the ocean's power. Looking at these maritime anomalies through a historical lens helps us understand how our relationship with the sea has always been a mix of science, superstition, and a healthy respect for the unknown. So where does this journey through the past leave us? Today, the future of ocean exploration is being built on these historical foundations. We're no longer just dropping lines and nets. We're redeploying AI-powered autonomous submersibles that can explore treacherous underwater caves and withstand crushing pressures for months at a time. This cutting-edge technology allows us to go deeper and stay longer than ever before, continuing the work started by those early pioneers. Understanding our past is also critical for facing our future. The historical data collected on ocean currents and ecosystems by those early expeditions is now invaluable for tracking the impact of climate change. By comparing past and present, we can better understand the urgent challenges facing our oceans and work to protect them. This lost history isn't just a collection of old stories. It's a source of inspiration. The courage of the Polynesian wayfinders, the curiosity of the scientific pioneers, the sheer audacity of the deep-sea divers. These are the qualities we need to foster in the next generation of explorers, scientists, and stewards of our blue planet. Their legacy reminds us that there are always new frontiers to explore, new knowledge to uncover, and a vast, wonderful world still waiting to be understood. Thanks for joining us on this voyage through time. If you were captivated by these untold stories of the sea, make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. See you next time.